Namaskar. Hello and welcome to 𝗣𝗽𝗏𝗖 channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. This is a quick special update on what is happening as far as USAID funding is going. There has been a development. Remember that there was a temporary freeze put on the a temporary stay put on dispersal of funds under USAID. That has now been removed. I'm going to talk to you all about it. And 𝗥𝗘𝗙 𝗏 is the new FBI director. He took the oath under 𝗤𝗙𝗿 𝗜 I thought many of you might want to know this. And now it's a new era that begins in the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We'll have to wait and see what 𝗥𝗘 is going to be able to achieve there. Now, let's take a quick look at what happened in a federal court. And I'm going to have a small slide deck that will tell you all that played out. Please, first, like this video, and I'm not getting notifications. I'll have to take it up and find out what's going wrong. So most likely many of you are not, but if you are watching it, please do like it. Here we go. A federal judge shut down a union challenge to Trump's plan to put 2,000 plus USAID employees on leave, ruling that the administration has every right to shake things up. The union sued, saying that this could endanger the lives of the USAID people who are working. And the judge, Carl Nichols, basically said that workers need to go through the proper red tape before suing, that they can't just arbitrarily throw in. So looks like the unions didn't have a proper preparation in place. That's what it looks like. And therefore they essentially didn't do it right, and the judge said no, this can continue on. So this is all part of the 90-day freeze of the Trump administration, as they were trying to review what was proper and what was not proper. So this is one ruling. While this is going on, there's another judge who told USAID and the State Department to restart payments on some frozen contracts and grants. So these could be critical things that could maybe it has to do with a famine affected country, who knows. So the data on that is still forthcoming, so we will find out that in the days and weeks to come. But today, as things stand, this is the first time that the DOGE has actually won a victory in the court, wherein they can actually go back and implement what they want to do in USAID. Remember, USAID now reports to the Department of State, to Marco Rubio, and they have now plans to keep only 255 employees from a total of 10,000. And their budget was in tens of billions of dollars, much more than the CIA. So USAID was that catch-all thing where they were putting a lot of money, and then that was being used for dubious purposes. So this is a big one because it removes a lot of legal barriers for what the DOGE and the Trump administration need to do. So USAID, the hammer has fallen. Sure, they can sue, they can appeal this to a higher court, but I don't see that happening because this is all procedural things. I think the mood will be fairly easily understood, but we have to wait and see. Everybody has recourse to law. Now, the 1961 Foreign Assistance Act was the one that established USAID. I told you about this under Kennedy administration. It was genuinely an effort to try and help countries that were in need of it. Now, the attempts of Trump to dismantle USAID may have other constitutional challenges, but I sort of doubt it, because you see, on the one side you can say, well, it has not been done before, it's critical, blah blah blah. On the other side, the one person that has been elected by the people of America to do his job is the President of America. So this is essentially one of his fundamental roles, that he needs to look at the waste available and to clear that. So there's nothing wrong in what Trump is going about doing, as long as it stays within the legal gamut. See, US is spending, I think last number was 60 billion, 60. And what did it get in return? All messes. Now the latest mess being Bangladesh. They don't know what to do. It is getting radicalized fast. Somebody else appears to be playing there, and nobody is able to do anything. Nobody knows anything that's going on there. So point I'm trying to make is that these kinds of attempts to try and destabilize regimes, from 1945, that is the end of Second World War, over 100 times the United States has actually destabilized regimes and to put its own writ on it. Also, by the way they did it is there is this organization called OCCRP. Take a look at it. For example, these are the ones who came out with the Panama Papers. You get the drift, right? USAID funds this entity called OCCRP, which in turn starts writing about corruption of the politicians that US does not like. Build a case, add the pressure. All these people are contracted to write about those people, those parties that the government doesn't like, and as the pressure builds, slowly but steadily the ground slips from underneath the party and they basically go out of power and somebody else gets installed. Sometimes both sides have been played. For example, one time this party, and the next time this party. So US also does all these strange things. The bad thing about US is that if things don't go its way, it'll just cut its losses abruptly and leave. And leave the mess behind. Like, for example, what happened in Afghanistan and now what is happening in Bangladesh. For all practical purposes, Trump has said that I'm leaving this to Modi. And we don't know what Modi is trying to do. Short of saying that Modi is actually trying to send back a lot of illegals back into Bangladesh, and they are not accepting them. So that is the skirmish that's happening in the border states of Assam, for example. He has not used West Bengal yet as a conduit because they are not in power there. We know how helpful Mamata Banerjee is. So he's not using that yet. But that's where a lot of people are there. So is Jharkhand. So, and some parts of Bihar also, I'm told. So all these things are beginning to play up. Don't be surprised if Bihar also starts, removing some of the illegals, because the illegals that were brought in were carefully placed in those constituencies where if they vote as a bloc, then they can influence the result. I've been screaming about this for 8-9 years now, ever since we discovered this in Jammu about how the Rohingyas were settled there. So this is the grand plan. Now, at least for 90 days, USAID is not going to have any money. And even after that, I feel like at least for the next couple of years, 2 years I give, that USAID will be completely dormant. But there'll be long enough time for all these people who are on this gravy train to go figure out if there is something else that they can do in their lives. I think that's what's going to happen. And we're done now. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let me see. There's one question here. Okay. 𝗔𝗡𝗍𝗍 wants to know, sir, will USAID be investigated for Indian elections interference by the DOJ? I don't think so, 𝗔𝗍𝗍. This is something that is actually known. You know these journalists from what they write. You have an incident that is like the sun rising in the east, and they lie about something like that. So you know who these people are. What people have to do, what the government needs to do is every time they find somebody deliberately lied and got paid for it, you cancel that person's license for life. Let them go and find some other vocation to pursue. This is something that needs to be done on a war footing. I don't know when the government will crack the whip on that. I hope they do that, because there are far too many people who are living on the crumbs of foreign organizations, and they'll do anything to just get this kind of money. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. And in the bell buttons, I'm now seeing that you need to say all notifications, because default is personalized. Sometimes that personalized doesn't give you the notification when the program starts. Thank you once again. Namaskar. Rakesh, we don't need to stoop to anything. You get it, you get it. You don't get it, you don't get it. I hope you made it. You said it in jest.